Hey, if you're enjoying Hooks and Ladders, and why wouldn't you be enjoying Hooks and Ladders? Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and hey, head on over to songstudio.ca to check out what we're up to. If you sign up for our mailing list, you'll be the first to know everything that's coming up and everything special that we got going on at Song Studio. You won't regret it. Hey, welcome to Hooks and Ladders. What you're about to see is part of what we did at the Song Studio Workshop in Toronto in July 2022. There'll be lots more to see. We're just going to roll it out a little bit at a time. So sit back and enjoy. And if you want to know more about Song Studio, visit www.songstudio.ca and check us out. Enjoy.
It was once said to me, activity begets activity. Meaning, if you're sitting at home alone, writing your songs, but then not doing anything with them, and then just, you know, as you say, on a shelf, you know, your songs are just sitting there. It's better to go out and play some stupid gig. It's better to go out and put up posters. It's better to go out and do something / anything than do nothing with your music. You know, to send it out to contests, enter contests. You know, even though you may have veteran songwriters, you know, saying, yeah, contests, I don't know. But honestly, it's better to be doing something, in my opinion. Yeah. Is that your opinion as well?
Yeah, well, and contests are really good. Just enter them. It's no loss. I wouldn't enter contests that are really expensive to enter, but most of the good ones are free anyway.
Free or $20 or something like that.
But so definitely that is a good thing. But the thing is, we live in a different world too now where it's like, you know, even if you have 4 people watching you on Instagram, go live once a week, you know, and play a gig. Play a gig to the 4 people that like you. And then it'll be 8 people, and then it'll be 16 people, and be 32 people, etc. And eventually, you know, and you'll have if you had you know, and people that like Jeff Tweedy during the pandemic, him and his wife would go live from their house every week. And it was awesome, actually. It was sort of like a nice touchstone to thing. And they'd chat with you and you could talk to them. And then last night, his wife went live at a show he was doing, and it was awesome. And everybody, it's like all the people that hadn't been on that for a long time were like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great!" And Jeff Tweedy was playing.
That's great.
But it's like, go live once a week. That's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, and also I think one of the things about social media, like I work with this guy. He's an exceptional guitar player. He lives in New Jersey. He's an unbelievable guitar player. And I was like, go on TikTok every week and just play guitar for a 30-second thing or something, or talk about your guitar technique, because he's a real New Jersey lead guitar player, played with Southside Johnny and Gary U.S. Bonzals, and he just doesn't really like doing it. Yeah. Right? He's just like, he feels ashamed or embarrassed that he's doing it, but it's like, don't feel any of those ways, like, because the only reason to feel ashamed is nobody saw it.
Yeah.
And then you'd have nothing to feel ashamed about.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I'd say all the activity thing, like, and you're like, you don't want to go out. Well, just play to your phone, get a little stand for it, you know, or but you can, you know, for a little more money, you can get an arm that'll follow you around while you're moving. Right. Yeah. But it's like for less than, you know, I mean, you can buy a microphone for $100, and you could buy a camera, or you probably already have a phone that has a camera in it.
Yeah.
You probably have a computer that you're writing the songs on anyway. You know, you can go live, and it's like, try going live. Try posting something every week, or post like a little piece of the paper of your song that you're writing, that I wrote a song today, talk about it. And whether it's people like pictures more than they like reading stuff, I think now. But it's like, but you can post but I also find sometimes there's a picture and I like when somebody posts some information about it, because if I'm interested, then I can find out more stuff. You want to go further, yeah. And but I think like, and when you have something like that's as crazy as like whatever TikTok, it's like, TikTok, you should definitely post on TikTok, because even your smallest thing that you post could get 500 views. Yeah. And if one of them is somebody that ends up being interested in what you're doing, that's amazing.
And people can take the audio from your TikTok and they can use it in their own TikTok if they want. And that would give you more exposure because you'd be credited. And it's, you know, it's just a way of getting out there.
I could say a TikTok thing quickly.
Yeah, please. And I'll
TikTok,
think about
there's
this.
a thing called, I think it's Chartable, maybe has charts for TikTok, like the audio being used as original audio. I'm not sure if it's that one or not. But I was looking at it, And Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush was number 6 on it. I'm like, well, it's not number 1. And I'm like, what's number 1? And number 1 was a guy I knew, King Khan, who's a Canadian artist who lives in Berlin, who's amazing. And he has a band, he has several bands, but one of his bands called King Khan and the Barbecue Show. And the Barbecue Show is another guy. And they're super weird. And they were number 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I looked and it's like all these people made TikToks to his crazy song.
Yeah.
And I thought, King Khan, he's successful and he has his own thing going on, but it's like, he's content. Like one time I tried to manage him.
Yes.
And I was like, say, we should do this and we should do this. And I had all these ideas. And I was like, he's like, I don't want to do any of those things. I'm the king of the underground and I don't want to be any bigger than that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I'll be your friend and I'll come see your shows.
All right.
But but I thought he wanted to be bigger.
Yeah. Well, that's usually the way it is.
But he was happy because he made enough money to live and to be a musician and an artist and to have a life and have kids. And go on tour with the Barbecue Show. And do great shows, like people that packed the shows and be number 1 on TikTok with his audio, and he's making money from that.
I remembered what I was going to say. We were talking about the Carl Jung thing, where when you make something exceedingly personal, it actually becomes more universal. It's an interesting paradox, and I think this is true in social media as well. That you think, well, nobody's going to be interested in looking at my scrawled lyric sheet or whatever. They will. They want to know more about you. Now, whether it takes off and becomes, mega, that's a whole other story. But the fact is, when you're using social media, the more arm's length you are, the less people will be interested. The more you're sort of, I'm just promoting my show, Friday night, whatever. But if you say, this is what I'm cooking tonight, look what I had for breakfast, that kind of thing.
Say, what did you have for breakfast?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you all know this anyway, but it is a conversation that you're having, right? But the thing is, if you're an artist and you're having a conversation, the people you're having, if you just tell them stuff, they might repeat it. But the thing is, if you start talking with them and you engage them like you would at a show, because when you're like, I'll talk about the best show I ever saw in my life in a minute too, which was last week. And, if you engage them, then they're amplifying what you're saying, because now they're posting on their social media about you and they're talking about you and they're saying, hey, Blair said blah blah. Blair, you wouldn't believe what Blair had for breakfast. It's ridiculous. And I showed him what I had for breakfast, and here it is. It's like it's a story, right?
There are takeaways from all of these stories. Most of them come down to be awesome and do stuff.
When engage.
Yeah, engage. Yeah, that's a good one.
Remember, they're your audience.
Yeah.
They didn't come there to be bored.
Yeah.
They came there they're out, especially now, right? And I think that was Fronte's thought, was like, I have to make the best show I've ever done.
Right.
Because these people haven't seen a show in a long time. They paid their money to come see me. They gave me money.
Yeah.
They gave everybody that's working here tonight money. Right. They gave all the crew money. They gave the promoter money. I've got to deliver.
Yeah. And remember as well, it's all a show. And even last night these guys played at Say What.
Oh yeah.
And with a band, that band backing them up that they
Good drummer. They had a good drummer, I heard.
Yeah, excellent drummer. His mind was blown by you guys, by the way. The quality of songs, but also he said, everybody has their stage patter down. How do they do that? and I said, I don't know. They've been thinking about it, I guess. But he was like, it's crazy. And he said some of the arrangements that happened live before your very eyes, he said they were incredible. He said about playing with Jess. He said, boy, we killed that. Like, I didn't even know where the one was at one point. He said, but it was fantastic. So, anyway, it was a great experience. But you're all, when you're in a venue like that, the reason I try and hustle people up and get them going is because everybody's watching you. So if you take your time and sort of like, oh, hey, Alistair, nice to see you. You're being watched. That's part of the show. If you have a little conversation, just remember it's good to keep it going, because these people, whether they've paid to see you or not, they're watching you and they want to be entertained. An audience wants you to be good. They want you to be awesome.
Well, they're open. They're open. They're already
open.
There.
Yeah. And they're there and they're waiting. Yeah, let's do a couple of questions and then we got to move on. Bruce.
Yeah, I just started managing somebody for the first time in my life, a buddy, and talking about action and the pent-up demand right now for anything live. There's a series of farmers markets in my neighborhood in Hyde Park. It's like they're all over the place every week, and he was playing this on the street. So we're just trying to improve the revenue on the street and get a license. But anyway, I said, why don't we go to the farmers market? And so we walked in. This is a vote for action, by the way. We just walked in and two women immediately said, oh, hi, oh, you have a guitar. Oh, you want to play? And I said, yeah, that's why we're here. I'm his manager, he's going to play. She said, would it be all right if I also gave you $50 to start that? Because we have a budget for performers.
Yeah.
And this guy thinks I'm great. By the way.
Yeah, I imagine. I think you're great.
He was getting 100 a day from the street. Now he's for 3 hours, he's getting 50 plus maybe 100.
Right.
Right. So, but it's really fun. And I guess what I wanted to take away from what you said and what Blair is saying is, just go do it. Like, don't ask. Like, just go.
Right. The worst thing that could happen is somebody could say, no, you can't play here, or you can't do this. And then you could walk away or not listen to them too, you know. I mean,
my band was playing in parks last summer just as a way of getting together and rehearsing. And at that point, COVID was it felt like it was on the wane, but we still didn't feel like we could be in an enclosed space together. So we just went to the park. We were able to do that because it's an acoustic band. People kept bringing up money and asking, "Where's the hat?" And we kept refusing the money because I felt in that moment, now I'd take it, by the way, but at the time, $20 bills, $10 bills, and where can I put this? And but I felt like, but if we take the money, especially because my band's mindset at the time was, let's be people pleasers. And, a homeless guy, I presume he was homeless, sort of trundled through the area where we were playing, like right between us. And he said, "You guys know any Doobie Brothers?" As he was walking through. And my drummer said, "Do we know any Doobie Brothers?" And I said, "Andy, I've been doing this for 3,000 years. I don't want to take random requests for covers. If you ask for one of my songs, we'll do it, and that wasn't going to happen. So, but I felt like if we take the money, we'll be beholden to people. But I've changed my tune.
Would you play the Doobie Brothers now?
No, I still wouldn't play the Doobie Brothers, actually. Yeah, because that's not my job. My job is to play my songs. Yeah,
and play the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't play the Doobie Brothers. Sorry, no offense to them. Nothing about the Doobie Brothers. It's just about me. It's all about me. Okay. Yeah. As soon as they start playing my songs, then I'll play the Doobie Brothers. Okay, well, we got to wrap up though. But once again, Jeff Rogers, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
We hope you've enjoyed this little taste of the Song Studio Workshop in Toronto in July 2022. Stay tuned for more.